Hey, welcome to Post Lady Lope Softball, a Post Sports radio presentation live and free on YouTube. This broadcast is made possible by Happy State Bank, a division of Centennial Bank, member FDIC. Post Family Dentistry, small town values, state-of-the-art care. The Garcia family, supporting the Antelopes and the Lady Lopes. Carson Construction, the contractor who does every part of the job. The Post Baseball Academy and the Post Little League. KSSL Radio, playing the greatest country music ever recorded. The Post Area Chamber of Commerce, serving Post in all of Garza County. Sophisticut Salon of Post, your hometown full-service hair and nail salon. Antelope Wash and Dry, make your laundromat experience a home run. Judge Lee and Marcia Norman, supporting what's good for Post and Garza County. Post Family Cleaners, dry cleaning, laundry, and alterations. And now here's the Happy State Bank pregame show on postsportsradio.com.
Good afternoon and welcome to Post Sports Radio's coverage of Post Lady Lope Softball. I'm Russ Morris here with your play-by-play. Jim Plummer is keeping the books for us tonight. And video of today's game is live, free. Will also be available for on-demand viewing shortly after the game on Post Sports Radio's YouTube channel. It is Tuesday, April 7th, and we are live from the Tahoka ISD Baseball Softball Complex for Farmageddon between the Post Lady Lopes and the Tahoka Lady Bulldogs. It is game number 8 of the District 4-2A season. And the Lady Lopes have clinched a playoff berth for the 5th consecutive season and 16th overall after defeating New Home last Saturday. Post is under the direction of Brandon Murphy, who is in his first season as head coach of the Lady Lopes, and he is assisted by coaches Jillian Jonas Garrison and Tanner Scott. Now Tahoka enters tonight's game hoping to remain alive in the playoff race. Lady Bulldogs fell to number 14 Sundown last Saturday and are 2 games out of 4th place in the district standings. The Lady Bulldogs are led by head coach Hadley Richardson, and she is assisted by Suzanne Francis. Jim, you want to lead us in prayer?
I will, Russ. Thank you. Lord, we come to you in prayer, and thank you for the wonderful Easter weekend we had in Post and everywhere around the South Plains. We ask, Lord, to please be with all the players, coaches, and the umpires today, that we have a good game here in Tahoka, and that all the players and everybody involved show great sportsmanship to honor your name. It's in your name, Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. When we come back, Jim will get us informed with the Post ISD report as the Happy State Bank pregame show continues on Post Sports Radio.
This message is sponsored by Judge Lee and Marcia Norman.
Texas 4-H is a club for kids and teenagers ages 5 to 18, and it's big. It's the largest youth development program in Texas. 4-H is for kids with animals and so much more, like shooting sports, food science, healthy living, fashion, and photography. Contact the Garza County Extension Office to sign up by calling 806-495-4400 or visit 4honline.com.
This is brought to you by Judge Lee and Marcia Norman, supporting what's good for Post and Garza County.
My name is Sochi Anderton. I'm a dentist here at Post Family Dentistry. This clinic is a huge example of providing fancy dental care here in Post, Texas, because the residents of Post in these smaller communities, they deserve that same quality of care. We've expanded from 3 chairs now to 6 chairs at this new location. We are very proud here at Post Family Dentistry of our small town values combined with state-of-the-art care.
The community of Post continues to be committed to the Post Antelopes, just as Happy State Bank is committed to our customers. Perseverance, commitment, and resilience are key ingredients for success both on and off the field of play. Whether you are cheering on the Post Antelopes, starting a new business, or planning for the future, Happy State Bank is here for all your life's moments. Let us be your partner at Happy State Bank. Visit us in person or at happybank.com.
Happy State Bank, a division of Centennial Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Jim Plummer, and this is the Post ISD Report. It is about time to celebrate the class of 2026 and the incredible paths that they are about to begin by spotlighting the seniors and showing their plans after graduation through a social media series called Antelopes After High School. If you have a senior student, please make sure they fill out the after graduation plans form, which is sent to them on their school email account. That's be coming in from Mrs. Mason. Speaking of Mason, senior Mason Wright represented us well by finishing 13th of the 25 that competed at the 2A through 6A throwers at the Texas Relays track and field competition. Competing at this meet is an incredible accomplishment, so way to go, Mason. Congratulations to our boys varsity golf team, Carter Petty and Yesenia Saucedo. The boys team consists of Carter, Luca, Landon, and Jax. Congratulations to them. They will go to the Region 1 2A golf tournament. Those regional competition will be next week in Canyon. That is April 13th and 14th. The varsity and junior varsity track and field teams will compete in the District 4 2A Challenge scheduled for Thursday and Friday, April 9th and 10th. That's this weekend. That'll be at Floydada. Good luck, guys. Top 4 finishers in each event qualify for the area meet, and that'll be in Abernathy on Friday, April 17th. Scholarship deadlines quickly approaching. Local scholarship applications are due by Monday, April 27th. Post High School Prom this year is set for April 18th. That's next week, right? And this year's theme is The Great Gatsby. It will be at the Post Community Center. You can get the info you need on the Post ISD Facebook page. Meanwhile, the pre-K through kindergarten roundup for future antelopes and lady lopes will be for the years 2026 and 2027 school year. It's set for Monday, May 4th. That's from 5:30 to 6:30. Detailed information again on the Post ISD Facebook page. This has been the Post ISD Report. I'm Jim Plummer. Stay tuned for more of the Happy State Bank pregame show coming up next as we go to introductions right now. Russ may want to keep it here and do that.
Starting off for the antelopes, we have number 4, Amaris Abraham.
So Amaris Abraham's going to start off the lineup, and she'll play shortstop for the Lady Lopes.
15,
Sophie Scott, number 15, the first baseman.
Number 11, Amberly Garza.
Amberly Garza wears number 11. She's out in left field today.
Number 10,
Serenity Sanchez, number 10, batting cleanup and playing third base. Pitching in the circle once again, Hannah Abraham, number 9. Sanaya Sanchez is behind the plate and catching. She wears number 8. Junior Zaylee Perez, right fielder, has got 3 home runs now for the season. She's going to be out in right field. Azarae Landa, the designated hitter, wears number 30. She's a senior. The sophomore Riley Hernandez has got a couple home runs herself. She'll be at second base and batting 9th. And Harley Rivera, the center fielder, will not be hitting, but she'll be out there having another good game out in center field for the freshman.
And now for your Lady Bulldogs.
Russ will handle the Lady Bulldogs, if you will, Russ. I will get it if you can. I got it. Marley Stone's going to lead off playing center field. Jackie Garcia playing left field, number 14. Number 11 is the catcher, Ali Rodriguez, at third base and batting cleanup. Evely Frutis.
Number 3,
Ariela Castaneda, the shortstop. Number 3 is batting 5th. In the 6th spot, it'll be Odyssey Ariazola, the first baseman, number 15.
Number 9, Jaden Woodley.
Number 9, Jaden Woodley is playing designated player. Number 13, Alaya Vasquez is the second base person.
Number 18,
Andrea Castaneda, right fielder. Number 18 will be batting 9th. And pitching today will be Claire Gill, the pitcher. She wears number 7. We're going to try to catch the national anthem through we're in a soundproof booth here today, which is really nice, but I won't hear too much. We'll see what we can do by hearing the national anthem in the booth. Russ, we need to crank this. We're back up to the national anthem, and the Lady Bulldogs from Tahoka out in the field. Russ Morris have the play-by-play for you today. Russ?
So taking the field for Lady Bulldogs in the circle will be number 7, Claire Gill. Behind the plate will be catching number 11, Ali Rodriguez. Number 17, Evelyn Frutis out at third base. At second is going to be number 13, Aaliyah Vasquez. Out at shortstop is going to be number 3, Ariel Castaneda. Out in left field is going to be number 14, Jackie Garcia. Number 2, Marley Stone in center field. Number 18, Andrea Castaneda in right field.
Lady Lopes come to the plate first today with Amherst Abraham and Sophie Scott, Amberly Garza, Serenity Sanchez, followed by Hannah Abraham. Those are your first 4. I'm going to catch up on my scoreboard here as I speak to you. Sanaya Sanchez batting 6th. Zaylee Perez, 7th slot, followed by Azare Landa. Then rounding out the order will be Riley Hernandez. That's pretty much your starters have been for the last few games, except for last game we did was Harley Jo McClellan was playing second base because I don't think Riley was available that day. But
no, she was at a family gathering for Easter.
Good for her, and a great game by Harley. McClellan had a good game out there at second base, so she filled in nicely. All right, Russ.
So here's Amherst Abraham leading off as a 93% rate of stealing bases when she's on. Here's the first pitch. It's in there for strike 1. Takes her time getting back in. Comes the pitch. She shows bunt. It's going to be fouled off for strike 2. Counts now at 0-2. As I get my scoreboard situated, ready for you guys watching. She gets her instructions from Coach Murphy, who's standing at the third base line. Tanner Scott is the coach out on first base. Sophie Scott's on deck. Here is the pitch. Grounded foul down the third base line into the dugout. Count remains at 0-2.
Remember a flashback to last game. Amherst had a good game for the Lady Lopes, going for 2 for 3 on the day. Scored a couple runs as well.
Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss on a changeup on the outer part of the strike zone for strike 3.
You go a little bit further, you can call that a floater. That was a really slow, high pitch.
So now this brings up Sophie Scott with Amberly Garza on deck. It's Serenity Sanchez in the hole. Infield's playing straight up. Comes the pitch, rolled for ball 1. Counts 1-0 with 1 out. Again, we're still in the top of the first. Here's the 1-0. Down low for ball 2.
Nice field, nice press box here at Tahoka. Glad to be here today. Looking at some storm clouds in the distance, but not expecting a great chance.
Comes the 2-0. The ball's grounded to second. She can't get a hold on it. Trips up, throw, not in time. She's tried to make a play on it. It's going to be an infield base hit for Sophie. I'll let Jim decide how he wants to rule that.
Well,
because she did
compared to the last game, I want to go a little bit easier to tell you. I'm going to give that a base hit because that was hard to get to, and she did make the throw.
So Amberly shows bunt, pulls back, swings away. Sophie runs.
Foul tip. Garza, she too had a great, actually all the ladies had a great game against New Home just a couple days ago on Saturday. So 1 on at first.
Is taken high. Throw to second is in time, but shortstop couldn't get a handle on it. Sophie has a stolen base. Now she is in scoring position. Wind not really going to be a factor like we saw it was on Saturday, Jim.
No, it's a beautiful day. 1-1 pitch.
That ball is grounded back to second. Throw to first is in time, but it does advance Sophie over to third, so that was a productive out. Now this brings up cleanup hitter, Serenity Sanchez.
Number 10, Serenity Sanchez.
Sanchez, one of the top hitters for the team. Of course, a great game. Was it a triple and 2 doubles last game?
Was a single and a home run away from the cycle. As she grounds that foul, she straightens it out. Who knows what could happen. Counts now 0-1. Again, 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Serenity, one of the few wash and dry players of the game on Saturday.
Here's the 0-1.
There's that floater. Ooh.
Just high and outside for ball 1. Counts even now at 1-1. Here's the pitch from Gill. That is popped up for strike 2.
Almost reached and got that myself, Rush.
Again, it's hard to tell on your screen, but it is a battle of the striped jerseys, Post and the black and gold pinstripes. Tahoka's powder blue stripes are just faintly on their jerseys, but they are there. You can see them. Here comes the 1-2. Fouled. Count remains at 1-2.
Got Hannah Abraham waiting to get up next if Serenity can get on base.
Here comes the 1-2. That is popped back foul.
That was yours, Russ.
Count remains at 1-2. Last time these two teams played was back on March 16th. With Post taking a 13-run victory, 15-2, back at David Nichols Park. Here's the 1-2. Just high for ball 2. Counts even at 2-2.
Lady Lopes comfortably in second place at this time.
Here's the 2-2. That is fouled again. Counts still even at 2-2. Serenity putting up a good battle at the plate. Wind is blowing out of left field, so it's blowing to the north.
They're expecting Serenity to pull down left field lines like a wide open left center.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Side is retired. Lady Lopes leave 1 stranded on base. Jacarson Construction score remains tied at 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the first as Post Sports Radio rolls on YouTube.
Here at the Post Area Chamber of Commerce, we are more than events. Yes, we love a good ribbon cutting or holiday market, but the Chamber's real purpose is deeper than that. We exist to advocate for local businesses, agriculture, and tourism. We connect people, promote growth, and keep Post moving forward together. That's why we're here. That's why we work.
Welcome back to Post Lady Lopes Softball on Post Sports Radio. Here's Jim with a recap of that half inning.
Well, Lady Lopes up first at Tahoka here. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and leaving 1 on the base path. Coming up for Tahoka, top of the order is Marley Stone, the center fielder, followed by Jackie Garcia, and then Ali Rodriguez. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
And then if they go further, it'll be Evelie Frutis.
Evelyn Frutis.
And then Ariela Castaneda.
Taking the field for the Lady Lopes, starting in the circle is going to be number 9, Hannah Abraham. Catching will be number 8, Sanaya Sanchez. Out at third, Serenity Sanchez. Amaris Abraham at shortstop. Riley Hernandez at second base. Sophie Scott at first. Zaylee Perez out in right field. Harley Rivera, lone freshman on the team, out at center field. And then Amberly Garza out in left. Hadley Richardson, head coach for the Lady Bulldogs, will be standing at third base. And coach Suzanne Francis should be no stranger to anything going on in post, as she's a former Lady Lope coach. She's standing up first. So here is Marley Stone standing in to the boxes. She started the scoring off the last time these two teams met. She was a tough out.
Yeah, good center fielder as well, and a backup pitcher.
First pitch is taken inside for ball 1. Counts at 1-0. Jim, I was pulling the career stats for Hannah Abraham thus far. Did you know that entering today, she has a career strikeout total of 322?
Wow, that's started as a freshman, didn't she?
Yes.
Junior now.
1-0 is fouled for strike 1.
Some of the Lady Lopes are actually, just 2 of them out there wearing hoodies. A little bit cool here in Tahoka.
Curveball is in there for strike 2. Counts at 1-2. Good action on that breaking ball by Hannah. Here's the 1-2. That is popped up to Sophie. She makes the catch for out number 1. She missed a lot of those against New Home with the wind having an effect on them, but she makes the play today.
Yeah, probably a 5-mile-an-hour wind here compared to 30 the other day in post.
So,
it caused havoc on everybody out in the field.
Yes, so now at the dish will be number 14, Jackie Garcia.
Ali Rodriguez is on deck.
She just picks her feet up in time for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 from Hannah. That is lined, just gets past Amaris out into center field. Good backup by Harley to prevent Jackie from going any further. As now Tahoka has a runner on first for Ali Rodriguez, number 11, the catcher.
Yeah, Amaris Abraham made a nice attempt at shortstop, diving for that line drive, just couldn't get to it.
Saw a lot of that during their fly ball practice, Jim. They were trying to make tough plays and try to get used to doing that. Here's the 0-0. Garcia runs, line drive to Serenity. Throw second in time for out number 1 on the fielder's choice for out number 2.
There's a double play. No, tag her. You got to tag her. Ooh. Did she ever make it to first? I didn't see it.
She did, but I don't. Okay, well, that's a double play to retire.
That's a 5-4 to 3, I guess. DP, double play to retire the side.
Well, Jim, we'll keep it here because did you know that it is baseball time in Texas?
Yes, and the Post Area Chamber of Commerce having a Grand Slam raffle, and the drawing is this Saturday at the casino night at the Post Community Center. You can buy your raffle tickets today, though, from any board member of the Post Chamber of Commerce, or go down to the chamber office at the old depot and get someone during office hours, of course. They're only $20 each, or6 tickets for $100. And what you can win is 4 Texas Rangers baseball tickets, a $500 gift card, and a basket of goodies. Again, that drawing is Saturday, so be sure to get your tickets before then, and the drawing will be at the Chamber of Commerce Casino Night Saturday evening at the Post Community Center. Don't believe you need to be present to win, though, so get your tickets anyway.
And you guys, you don't want to miss out on it. There's a lot of excitement around this Texas Rangers baseball team this season. They have a new manager in charge, as Bruce Bochy had retired and is moving into a front office role back where he won all of his World Series titles with the San Francisco Giants. So a lot of excitement going around. And now up to bat for the Lady Lopes to be number 9, Hannah Abraham. Sanaya Sanchez on deck. Zaylee Perez is in the hole.
Just real quickly, what happened there with Tahoka at bat at the bottom of the first. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base, and a real crazy ending to that inning.
Because we're not sure how the first base woman got out, but either way.
She apparently didn't even make it to first base because they just had to touch the base and they called her out. I would assume she made it to first. Then they would have had to tag her out if she got off first base. But they didn't tag her and they called her out anyway.
So here's the 0. Pitch was taken inside for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 to Hannah. As it catches the same part of the zone again. Hannah does have a tendency to crowd the plate, so counts at 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Outside for ball 1. Here's the 1-2 from Gill. High and outside on another floater for ball 2. Counts even at 2-2.
Got Sanaya Sanchez on deck. In the hole is Zaylee Perez, who had a home run on Saturday, leading the team with 3.
And a great take on that one as it's just a little bit low for a full count now. Gill takes her time. Strike contrast from what we saw with New Home Gym as Escobedo from New Home had no hesitation. Here's the 3-2. She fouls it off. Count remains full. As remember, Claire Escobedo from New Home Gym, she was ready to go almost after every pitch.
A little bit more time in between pitches in this game. That's okay. Don't have a pitch clock.
Here's a 3-2. Hannah take her base. She gets on board with a walk. Now here's Sanaya Sanchez. Team's
Number 8.
third in batting average with .545. On base percentage is .634. Here's the 0-0. Didn't see what that was called. It's for a ball. Hannah stays at first. No shift in the outfield. Looks like they're playing straight up. Left fielder maybe playing a little bit more back. Here's a pitch. Down low. Hannah does go. Throw to second, not in time. Hannah with a stolen base. Counts now at 2-0. Again, if you're just joining us, we are tied with the Carson Construction score is 0-0 here in the top of the second. Here's the 2-0 to Sanaya. Inside for ball 3. Catcher walks Hannah back to second.
So good opportunity for Post. One in scoring position with no outs. And a good order coming up. It's got some home run hitters coming up.
This year, the Lady Lopes have a batting average of .515 with runners in scoring position. That is popped out into right field. Catch is made for out number 1. It just kind of died as soon as it got halfway out into right field. Now here's Zaylee Perez, team leader in home runs. She hit another home run to help take the lead over the New Home on Saturday. So the pitch. The ball is grounded to short. It gets past her. Hannah stays at third. Gets back safely. Now runners at the corners.
Got E6 error on the shortstop. Puts Perez on first and advances Abraham to third.
So now here's the other power hitter in Azare Landa.
Power, yes. You know, both Zaley and Azare back-to-back homers the other day.
And look at that, Jim, as she comes up to bat. She shows bunt, but the wind has died.
She ain't gonna bunt. There you go.
Ball's hit in the gap. Hannah will score. Sanaya tries for third.
Whoop.
Gets caught for out number 2. But your Lady Lopes take the lead.
See, that was Zaley tagged out?
Yes.
Okay.
Number 2, Riley Hernandez.
So now here's Riley Hernandez. She has some power to her to herself as well. She has 2 home runs on the year. Here's the 0-0. Outside for ball 1. Amaris standing on deck just in case. Here's the 1-0. Azare goes. She is safe by half a step. It was bang bang.
Yeah, usually you want to slide on that, but she decided to stand up. Tag was on the shoulder pretty much, and her foot was on the bag before that.
So it counts now 2-0 with a runner in scoring position. Here's the pitch.
Ooh, he calls it.
Outer part of the zone for strike 1. Counts now at 2-1. Here's the pitch. That is fouled. Counts even now at 2-2.
Top of the second inning. With 2 outs, 2 on. I'm saying 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 on.
It's the pitch. That is lined out into right field. It's going to go to the fence. Another run will score. Riley will stay at second with a double.
A 1-run double for Riley Hernandez. Making the Cars Construction score now 2-0.
Number 5, Harley Riviera.
No, this should. Amaris Abraham at the plate.
Amaris Abraham at the plate now. Another runner in scoring position. Riley standing on second. That is blooped foul for strike number 1. Everybody takes their time, making sure their back's set. In 2 outs, top of the second. Cars Construction scores 2-0 in favor of your Lady Lopes. Here's the 0-1. That is, you can't get a hold on that as it hit the net for strike 2.
Tell that man to stay away from the umpire.
Nice to see Mondo out here.
0-2 the count.
Here's the pitch. Down low for ball 1. As Riley is walked back to second. Wind picking back up a little bit. Here's the 1-2.
Oh,
check swing. I have to say it's fouled.
Yeah, I think it hit the knob of her bat at the bottom there. She was trying to get out of the way.
Count remains at 1-2. Real quick, District standing Sundown undefeated in first place at 7-0 with a 16-4 overall record. Post in second at 6-1 and 11-6 with a 3-game lead over New Home and Morton. Here's the pitch. Fouled again. New Home and Morton both have a 3-4 district record. New Home at 10-12, Morton at 5-15. Sundown is at Morton, Seagraves is at New Home, and we are here in Tahoka. Seagraves is on tab next for your Lady Lopes. Is here in about a week. We could be playing Sundown for a district title, maybe for a chance at one. Here's the 1-2. Gets her looking for strike 3. Side is retired, but your Lady Lopes get 2 runs on the board for Carson Construction score of 2-0. Take a break. We'll be right back with the bottom of the second right after this.
Post-Dispatch is proud to support all of our local high school sports. They're excited to bring you all the weekly scores and highlights of your favorite teams, as well as keeping you informed about everything going on in the community. Subscribe today. You can choose to have your newspaper mailed to your home or business, or subscribe online and get the news when it's convenient for you. They're proud to serve the community and proud to serve Garza County. The Post-Dispatch, community news at the finest.
Welcome back to Post Lady Lopes softball. Here's Jim with a recap of that half inning.
Lady Lopes take a lead in the top of the second. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and they leave 1 on the base path. And here we go into the bottom of the second. The home team, Tahoka Lady Bulldogs, coming to the plate.
It's going to be number 17, Evelyn Frutis, followed by number 3, Ariel Castaneda, and batting 6, number 15, Odyssey Ariazola.
In the first inning rush, they were 3 up, 3 down, but it was a little convoluted there at the end, where there was a force out at second made. Third baseman threw it to second, got that, and the person who hit the ball never did run the first. And then eventually we tagged first, and that was the third out of the inning.
So here's the 0-0 from Hannah. Swing and a miss for strike 1.
Ariela Castaneda up next, and then Odyssey Ariazola.
Hannah set. Here comes the 0-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. No changes out in the defense for Lady Lopes. In their black jerseys with the pinstripes. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for out number 1.
First strikeout for Abraham from the circle today for the Lady Lopes.
So now this brings up number 3, Ariel Castaneda, shortstop. Here's the 0-0 from Hannah. Ball is grounded to Amaris. Throw to Sophie is over her head. Almost hit Coach Francis. She takes off. Runner takes off for second. Throw back to Hannah. Will hold the runner at seconds. That is an error on Amaris. That just went over Sophie's head.
Yeah, she gloved it nicely. The throw was a bit high over the first baseman.
Too much juice on that throw.
So it's the first base runner for the Lady Bulldogs of Tahoka.
Number 15, Odyssey Arizola.
No, that's this half inning. It's the
well, you're right. I'm sorry.
First
second one. Yeah. See that 3 batters and 3 outs, but somebody gets a hit on base. It throws off my equilibrium.
So here's Odyssey Ariazola. It's a pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 1.
Jaden Woodley on deck, followed by Elia Vasquez. Or maybe that's Aaliyah.
Getting 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Here's the 0-1. Outside, no throw back to second. It holds the runner at third. And your Carson Construction score is 2-0 in favor of your Lady Lopes if you're just tuning in. Was fouled for strike 2. Counts now at 1-2. Everybody gets set now. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 on a beautiful changeup from Hannah.
Nice.
Now here's Jaden Woodley,
Number 9, Jaden Woodley.
the designated player. She takes her time, gets the instructions from Coach Richardson. Here's the 0-0. Just a bit high for ball 1. Wind's picked up again. Looks like it's still blowing out in left center, maybe left field. Still blowing towards the north. Northeast. Pitch taken for strike 1. Counts even at 1-1. Sorry, wind's blowing northwest if I can get my directions right. Need 2 outs. Bottom of the second. Here's the 1-1 from Hannah. Outside. Sanaya tried to frame it, but the ump doesn't buy it. It's 2-1 the count now. Here's the 2-1 from Hannah. Grounded to Riley. Gets through her legs. Out to Zaylee out in right field. Run does come across and score for Tahoka.
Give an error on the second baseman on that. Puts Woodley on first after driving in Castaneda from second.
So now here's Aaliyah Vasquez, the second baseman. Followed by Andrea Castaneda, and then we're back to the top of the order with Marley Stone if we get there. 2 outs still in the bottom of the second. Your Carson Construction score is now 2-1 in favor of Lady Lopes. Bunt for strike. Sanaya holds Woodley at first. Here's the 0-1. Is chopped foul for strike 2. Counts now at 0-2. Here's the pitch. Fouled again. Counts remains at 0-2. Here's the 0-2. The ball's grounded back to Riley. Over to Amherst for out number 3 for fielder's choice. But Tahoka does get a run on the board, making your Carson Construction score 2-1 as we head over to the top of the third. Lady Lopes lead as you're watching Post Sports Radio live and free on YouTube.
We play the greatest country music ever recorded. Tune in anytime and anywhere to KSSL 107.3, 94.1, KSSLFM.com, and on our free mobile app. All your favorites are here.
Hi, I'm Alan Jackson.
Hi, this is Mark Chestnut.
Hi, I'm Clint Black.
We've got them all.
Hi, this is Ronnie Millsap.
Hi, this is Patty Loveless.
Hi, everybody, this is Garth Brooks.
Hey, this is George Strait.
I've been listening to this radio station forever.
Proud supporters of high school sports. We are KSSL.
All right, welcome back to Lady Lopes softball here on Post Sports Radio. Here's Jim Plummer with a recap of that half inning.
Well, the Tahoka Lady Bulldogs get into this game with a run in the bottom of the second on 1 hit, or no hits rather. 2 errors by the Lady Lopes there for the run, and nobody left on base. Score now, Cars Construction scored 2-1. Post Lady Lopes lead at Tahoka.
Now coming up to bat for your Lady Lopes is going to be number 15, Sophie Scott, followed by Amberly Garza and Serenity Sanchez. What did Sophie do her last plate appearance, Jim?
Let's see, Russ. Sophie got a single and a stolen base. Couldn't score.
She watches the breaking ball go in for strike one. Make the count now 0-1. Here's the 0-1 from Gill. Down low for ball one. Counts even at 1-1. Got a game going on just to the left of us over at the baseball field as Tahoka is taking on state-ranked New Home. Their district matchup today. Here's the 1-1. Ball is grounded to third. Throw to first. Pulls her off the bag, but it goes in the dugout. Sophie will stay at first. She did beat the throw.
Yeah, she gets a base hit on that, even though the throw was high. She was at the bag before the throw got there.
So now this brings up Amberly Garza.
So Sophie, 2 for 2. Garza, her first time up, she grounded out.
Give a shout out to your Bowl Gold baseball team. They're taking on the Seagraves Eagles for their first of two district series today. The pitch is taken high for ball one. As we'll bring you that game Saturday morning. Weather pending.
Yeah, I'm checking the weather. It's supposed to have a really good chance of rain, not only in Post, but in Seagraves as well. But that's where we'll be.
Here comes the 1-0 to Amberly. Swing for a foul. Counts even at 1-1.
Got Serenity Sanchez on deck, followed by Hannah Abraham.
Getting no outs, top of the third. Here's the 1-1 from Gill. Low, ball two. She's safe at second.
Second stolen base tonight or today. Yeah, it is tonight almost, right, for Sophie.
Here's the 2-1. That is grounded, slow roller. The second throw to first in time for out number one. Sophie advances to third. So it is a productive out once again for Amberly. As now this brings up Serenity Sanchez.
Serenity struck out her first time up for the third out of that first inning.
Hannah on deck. Here's the 0-0 to Serenity. Swing and a miss as it bounces off of the catcher's helmet for strike one. Serenity, the batting average of .562 and an on-base percentage of .596.
Hannah Abraham ready to get up on deck. She's got just one out in the inning. She's got a chance to get there.
Here's the 0-1. That is popped up. Shortstop makes a play for out number two. Wasn't deep enough for Sophie to tag and score, so now this brings up Hannah Abraham.
Yeah, with 2 outs, comes to the plate with a base on balls in the second inning. She led off there and ended up scoring the first run for the Lady Lopes.
Leads the team in batting average, Hannah does, with a .585 average, .660 on base percentage. The throw to third. Holds Sophie, barely.
Sophie's a little calm, cool, and collected for that. I would have been face first in the dirt.
She's paying attention now if she wasn't before. Shout out Coach Wright and the rest of the coaches here. Here's the 1-0. Inside, ball two.
Sanaya Sanchez waiting to come up.
Here's the 2-0. Catches the outer part of the zone for strike one. Speaking of Coach Wright, give a little plug. Did an interview with Coach Wright earlier today. You can catch that on the Dispatch's Facebook page and Post Sports Radio's social media channels as well. You don't want to miss it. Here comes the 2-1. Inside for ball 3. As Coach and I, we discuss the track season and we provide some insight as to what's going on with the turf project.
That's exciting. Yeah, we'll have a new look this football season.
Here comes the 3-1. Catches the same part of the outer zone for strike 2. Counts full.
Got 2 outs and a runner at third. Let's score here.
Here's the pitch. Down low, ball 4. Runners at the corners now with 2 outs.
Second walk for Hannah Abraham today.
So here's Sanaya Sanchez.
Number 8, Sanaya Sanchez.
Sanaya flew out to right field her first time up, which was back in the 2nd inning.
It had enough oomph on it, it just died as soon as they got halfway out there. Here's the 0-0. High for ball 1. Runners stay at first and third. Again, Sophie still on third. That's Hannah on first.
If Sanaya can get on base, and Zaylee Perez waiting to come up next.
Here's the 1-0. Foul for strike 1. Straightened it out. Who knows what we could be talking about. Counts even at 1-1. Again, 2 outs, still in the top of the 3rd. Carson Construction score remains at 2-1 in favor of the Lady Lopes. Counts even at 1-1. Here's the pitch. Bounces to the catcher for ball 2. Hannah advances safely to second. Both the runners are now in scoring position.
Hannah's 2nd stolen base in this game.
Gill gets set in the circle. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Counts even at 2-2.
2-2-2 Russ with 2 runs and 2 runners on.
Here's the pitch from Gill. As fouled once again. Count remains at 2-2. Everybody takes their time getting set. Sanaya getting some coaching from Coach Murphy. Here's the 2-2. That is hit out into left center. It's going to go to the fence. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Sanaya is now in a pickle.
A real true pickle.
She slides safely into third. So she has a double, but advances via throws to third. I don't know how you would score that.
Well, she gets a double, like you said. And she makes it to third on the, I guess it's going to be somebody.
Number 6, Zaylee Perez.
Caught in a pickle, but she gets out of it and ends up on third base.
So here's Zaylee Perez. Gill takes her time. Now here's the 0-0. Zaylee bloops it. Bounces to short. Nobody could get a finger on it. She has an RBI. I didn't want to score that.
It's going to be a base hit.
RBI base knock.
Nobody touched it until after it hit the ground, so that's a base hit for Zaylee.
Number 30, Azure Landa.
So now here's Azure Landa.
Second base hit for Zaylee, by the way. The first time she got caught trying to make her way to third.
Again, we still got 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Here comes the pitch. Azure grounds to the pitcher. Throw to first over the head. Azare is going to try for second. Runner rounds third. Zaley's going to go home. Azare stands on third.
We'll give her an error on the pitcher on the throw. And that also brought Zaley home for the 4th run of the inning.
Breaking your Carson Construction score now 6-1 in favor of the Lady Lopes. Is now here's Riley Hernandez.
Riley had a double her first time up in this game. One of the power hitters, batting ninth in the order.
She grounds foul for strike one. We went from showcasing power on Saturday to now we're hitting for average. Today, wouldn't you say, Jim? Pretty much?
So far, yeah. Well, let's see what still got a little bit of game left here.
Here's the 0-1. Riley chops to short. Throw in time for out number 3, but the Lady Lopes score 4 runs in the inning to extend their Carson Construction's score to 6-1. As we'll take a break and we'll bring you the start of the bottom of the third here for you here on Post Sports Radio, live and free on YouTube.
My name is Sochi Anderton. I'm a dentist here at Post Family Dentistry. This clinic is a huge example of providing fancy dental care here in Post, Texas, because the residents of Post in these smaller communities, they deserve that same quality of care. We've expanded from 3 chairs now to 6 chairs at this new location. We are very proud here at Post Family Dentistry of our small town values combined with state-of-the-art care.
Welcome back to Post Sports Radio's coverage of Lady Lope softball. As your Carson Construction score is 6-1 as we get set to start the bottom of the third, Jim.
And Lady Lopes in the top of the third expanded their lead by 4 runs on 3 hits. There were 2 errors in the field, and we left 1 stranded at third base. That was Azare Landa.
So now batting will be the 9-hole hitter, number 18, Andrea Castaneda, right fielder. No changes defensively for Coach Murphy and the Lady Lopes. Outfielder Harley standing a little bit back. Pitch is taken high for ball 1.
This is Castaneda and Andrea Castaneda's first time up. Her sister was up earlier.
Yeah. Harley Rivera, center fielder for the Lady Lopes, playing a little bit deeper out in center field, closer to the fence. Here comes the 1-0. That is popped up. Nobody makes a play on it. Goes back towards the baseball field.
Yeah, like Russ said earlier, there's a baseball game about to start, just feet away from us.
Everybody taking their time, making sure everything's back set. Here's the 1-1 from Hannah. Floats in there for ball 2. Good changeup, though. It was a better take from Castaneda.
Got Marley Stone ready to come up next, followed by Jackie Garcia.
Here's the 2-1. In there for strike 2. Hannah's set and ready to go. Here's the 2-2. Gets her looking for strike 3 for out number 1. So here's Marley Stone back to the top of the order. Stone making her second appearance at the plate on the day.
And she flew out to first base her first time up.
Here's the 0-0. Goes in there for strike 1. Almost freezes Stone on that inside changeup. Here's the 0-1. Just too far inside for ball 1. Getting 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Here's the 1-1. That ball is grounded to Serenity. Throw to Sophie in time, out number 2.
Nice 5-3 put out by Serenity Sanchez over to Scott.
So now here's the number 2 hitter, number 14, Jackie Garcia, the left fielder.
Got a base hit. First hit of the for the Lady Bulldogs was a base hit. Made it to first, and that was as far as she could make it because of that crazy first inning.
Here's the 0-0. Good frame job by Sanaya for strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Too far inside for ball 1. Getting 2 outs. Bottom of the third, Lady Lopes lead with a Carson Construction score of 6-1. Here's the 1-1. Fouled for strike 2. And is set, ready to go. Here comes the 1-2. Chopped foul. Count remains at 1-2. So everybody walks back slowly, taking their time. Try not to rush things. Here's the 1-2 from Hannah. Rise ball's too high for ball 2. Counts even now at 2-2.
Got 2 outs, nobody on, Russ.
Here's a 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Side is retired. Hannah and the Lady Lopes do their job on the defense to prevent the Lady Lopes from getting anybody on base as we head to the bottom, on top of the 4th. Carson Construction score is 6-1 in favor of the Lady Lopes.
The community of Post continues to be committed to the Post Antelopes, just as Happy State Bank is committed to our customers. Perseverance, commitment, and resilience are key ingredients for success both on and off the field of play. Whether you are cheering on the Post Antelopes, starting a new business, or planning for the future, Happy State Bank is here for all your life's moments. Let us be your partner at Happy State Bank. Visit us in person or at happybank.com.
Happy State Bank, a division of Centennial Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Lady Lopes softball. So we get set to start the top of the 4th. Carson Construction score is 6-1 in favor of the Lady Lopes.
Lady Lopes come to the play, but after Tahoka in the bottom of the 3rd with no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on, and no scores, of course, so it leaves that Carson Construction score as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. It is 6-1 Post leads.
Top of the 4th.
Top of the 4th, sorry. Keep thinking we're at home.
As well.
Top of the 4th.
Top of the 4th, and we're going through the order for the 3rd time. Now it's Amaris Abraham.
Exactly, Russ. Thank you. So, back to Tahoka. Abraham for Post has 4 strikeouts in 3 innings.
Okay. Here's the 0-0 to Amaris. Takes it for ball 1, just a bit low.
Sophie Scott on deck. She's 2 for 2. And then Amberly Garza, the 3rd batter this inning.
Gill's set, ready to go. Amaris back in the box. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Nope, foul tipped for strike 1. Really got to watch the umpire, this kind of sound pane glass that we have up here.
Yeah, we don't hear much. We have the door ajar, but still don't hear much of the fans, or definitely not the umpire.
Here's the 1-1. Amaris shows bunt. Can't get it pulled back in time. It's strike 2. Amaris really wants to get on base.
Yeah, she's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts one time, the last time caught looking. And she's our stolen base leader, so yeah, we want her on the bases.
She has a 93% stolen base percentage. Here's the 1-2. Amherst ground off of the glove of the third baseman. Amherst will get on base. She goes for 2. Slides safely. She's now in scoring position.
Give her an error on the third baseman off the heel of the glove and across the foul line. Allowed Amherst to make it to second.
So here's Sophie Scott, first baseman. Amberly on deck.
Sophie's 2 for 2, has scored once, 2 stolen bases too. Lots of 2s there.
She fouls the first pitch off for strike 1. And Amherst on second. Counts 0-1. No outs. Top of the 4th. Here's the pitch. Bounces to the catcher. As Amherst has walked slowly back to second.
She's trying to get the catcher to throw that ball down there so she can take off to third.
Sophie's ready to go. Here's the pitch from Gill. That is high for ball 2.
Amberly Garza ready to come up. And if we get there, Serenity Sanchez. Which we should. No outs, right? Yeah.
No outs. Carson Construction score 6-1 if you're just tuning in. Here's a 2-1. That ball is grounded out into center field. Amherst rounds third. She will come home safely.
All right, so Sophie now perfect on the day, 3 for 3, all singles, but gets an RBI there as well.
So now here's Amberly Garza with Serenity Sanchez on deck. Hannah Abraham in the hole. Amberly reared up, ready to go. Here's the 0-0 from Gill. High and inside for ball 1. Really shows bunt momentarily. Pulls back. Inside, Sophie goes to second, slides in safely for another stolen base.
So Sophie with 3 base hits and 3 stolen bases at 3 times up. That's perfect. Scored once. We'll see what happens here.
Counts at 2-0. Here's the pitch from Amberly. That is hit out into straightaway center. Catch for out number 1.
It's Marley Stone out there with the catch. First out for the Lady Lopes.
That's the first out from Amberly that was not productive.
Exactly, yes.
She has advanced Sophie to third every time up to this point. So now here's Serenity for her third appearance at the plate. Hannah on deck.
Serenity, one of the leading hitters, 0 for 2 so far today.
Pitch taken for ball 1. Counts at 1-0 now.
Serenity struck out and she flew out, the shortstop, last time up.
Here's the 1-0 from Gill. That is lined out to left center, bounces off of the fence. Run will score. Serenity will stand on second.
And she's got her double again. Remember last game she had a triple and 2 doubles. There's her first double today with a RBI as well.
A little bit more lift and she'd have had a home run as it bounced off of the left field fence. Here's Hannah Abraham now.
Hannah excuse me, walked twice, scored twice, 2 stolen bases.
Here's the 0-0. Hannah chops foul for strike 1.
Sanaya Sanchez on deck.
We get there. Zaylee Perez is in the hole. Again, Serenity stands on second. Carson Construction scores now 8-1 with 1 out, top of the 4th. Here's the pitch. Gets past the catcher. Serenity will stand on third. Counts now at 1-1.
You think, Russ, a wild pitch or a pass ball on that last pitch?
I think that's a pass ball because it just rolled past the catcher. Here's the 1-1. Hits Hannah in the back. She'll stand on first. And she's frustrated because she won. Runners now in the corners again. So here's Sanaya Sanchez at the plate, followed by Zaylee Perez.
Number 8, Sanaya Sanchez.
Hit by pitch. First one tonight. I think Hannah Abraham's going to be all right. She's walking it off.
Oh, yeah. She was just frustrated that she got hit.
She wanted the base hit, huh?
Yeah, she was wanting to do some damage with her bat. Because that's the last 2 or 3 games, Jim, that's what she's done. She's been our spark plug to try to get runs going when you need them the most. And you really don't want to let up your foot off the gas right now.
Well, the catcher, Sanaya Sanchez, 1 for 2 with a double. And scored as well.
Here's the 0-0. That ball is hit right into left field. Runner scores.
Sanchez brings in Sanchez.
So now here is Zaylee Perez.
Number 6, Zaylee Perez.
Zaylee's 2 for 2, base hit each time. Scored last inning.
We're going to have a courtesy runner, I believe. It's going to be Haley Parker.
It'll be the sophomore, number 3.
Will come in and run for Sanaya.
Haley, a pretty valuable backup player where we saw her get some playoff experience last year against Abernathy. As a freshman as well.
Oh, yeah. Gill takes her time. Zaylee's ready to go. Again, runners on first and second. Here's the 0-0. Swing and a miss. You can tell Zaylee wanted all of that one. She swung at that one.
Trying to increase her home run record. She leads the team with, 3?
With 3.
On the season.
The team has 7 total. Here's the 0-1. That ball is fouled for strike 2. Runners will go back to their bases. And we do have another, if she gets used, Sophia De Leon has been the other courtesy runner that we have used so far this year. Here comes the 0-2 to Zaylee. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Pitch out, made her chase on the outer part of the zone as Hannah is walked back to second. Now here's Azare Landa, the designated hitter.
Azare. Home run last game on Saturday. Got a base hit today. It also was on the second time on an error. Scored on the first time up after that base hit.
Outfield looks like they're playing, infield and outfield is playing straight up. Here comes the 0-0. Hannah goes. That ball is launched into straightaway center. Fly ball lands in Stone's glove for
That's it.
Out number 3 to retire the side, but the Lady Lopes bring in 3 runs, making your Carson Construction score 9-1 as we head into the bottom of the 4th. as Post Sports Radio rolls on YouTube.
Take a break and let Post Family Cleaners take care of the laundry. Family Cleaners is Post Hometown Laundry and Dry Cleaners on West Main Street in Post. Whether it's dry cleaning, wash and starching, laundry service, or alterations, Post Family Cleaners has you covered. Let Post Family Cleaners make your life a bit easier. Go by 111 West Main Street or call 806-495-0777 to get details. That's 806-495-0777. Post Family Cleaners, your hometown laundry and dry cleaners on West Main and Post.
Welcome back to Post Lady Lopes Softball on Post Sports Radio. Carson Construction score is 9-1 as we get set to bring you the bottom of the fourth inning, Jim.
Top of the fourth, Lady Lopes scored 3, increasing their score 9-1 as the Carson Construction score. Those 3 runs came on 3 hits, just 1 error, and stranding 2 out there for the Lady Lopes. Coming up for the Tahoka Lady Bulldogs is Ali Rodriguez, Evely Frutis, and Ariel Castaneda.
So now here's number 11, Ali Rodriguez, the catcher. No changes defensively made for the Lady Lopes. Here's the 0-0. Pitch is framed for a strike by Sanaya.
Rodriguez bats in the third slot, and it was in that first inning where it was really crazy where she forgot to run and touch first base, and Post ended up making a double play, even though they gave up a base hit.
That ball is hit out into right field. Zaley makes a good play to hold the runner at first.
Clean single to right.
It's one thing that we have seen so far this year is, as I'm knocking on wood, Jim, is our outfield play has gotten a lot better this year.
Amen.
Backing up errors made in the infield.
More experience, and you got a freshman out in center who's done a great job.
Oh, yeah.
That being Miss Rivera.
The candidate for first team all-district outfield. I'd be shocked if she doesn't make it, at least.
Definitely the newcomer of the year, if not, if they have that. Did they have that?
Yes.
Okay, let's nominate her for that for sure. Evely Frutis now up. Struck out her first time.
Shows bunt, but it is fouled back to us for strike 1. One thing, Jim, that I like that the UIL allows when you get to the state championships and so forth, you are allowed to vote for MVP of the game or whatever. I wish the media would be able to vote for district MVPs and stuff. Here's the 0-1. This pitch is taken down low, throw back to first, holds the runner. But is that a courtesy runner we have at first, Jim?
I think you're right.
Okay. And what I'm getting at that is I wish we could do some gold glove honors like you see at Major League Baseball. It'd be well worth it. Here's the 0-1. She's taken for strike 2.
Was it?
Yep, counts at 1-2.
1-2.
Here's the pitch from Hannah. Swinging and a miss, strike 3 for out number 1. So now here's Ariel Castaneda, the shortstop.
Got on her first time up on an error, ended up scoring the only run for the Lady Bulldogs today.
Here's the 0-0. Runner stays. Pitch is taken inside for a ball, I believe. Counts now at 1-0. Again, there's 1 out as we're in the bottom of the fourth. Here's a pitch from Hannah. It is grounded to Riley.
Time for a DP. Got an easy DP here.
And it gets past Sophie. Runner stays.
Runner was frozen at first, so no attempt to advance.
So you get the out on a fielder's choice. Would you score that a fielder's choice or an error?
Fielder's choice. Actually, you got a 6-4 put out for the second out of the inning, and a fielder's choice. Well, I don't know. You give her a single on that?
No, I'd give her the fielder's choice. Pitch taken outer part of the strike zone for strike 1.
This is Odyssey Arizola.
First baseman.
Struck out her first time up.
Jaden Woodley on deck. 2 outs. Bottom fourth. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss on a changeup by Hannah for strike 2. Here's the 0-2. High outside for ball 1. Hannah gets set. Here's the 1-2. Down low and outside for ball 2. Counts even at 2-2. Here's the pitch. Gets her looking for strike 3 to retire the side. Tahoka does get a base runner on, but they're unable to bring her home as your Carson Construction score remains 9-1 as we can set to start the top of the 5th. As Post Sports Radio rolls on YouTube.
This message is sponsored by Judge Lee and Marcia Norman.
Texas 4-H is a club for kids and teenagers ages 5 to 18, and it's big. It's the largest youth development program in Texas. 4-H is for kids with animals and so much more, like shooting sports, food science, healthy living, fashion, and photography. Contact the Garza County Extension Office to sign up by calling 806-495-4400 or visit 4honline.com.
This is brought to you by Judge Lee and Marcia Norman, supporting what's good for Post and Garza County.
Welcome back to Post Lady Lope Softball. Here's Jim with a recap of that half inning.
Yeah, the Lady Bulldogs of Tahoka is still trying to get back in this game. Can't do it in the bottom of the 4th with no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 stranded. And Hannah Abraham for the Lady Lopes now with 6 strikeouts in 4 innings.
So now here's Riley Hernandez.
That is pitching, of course. I don't say she's swung and struck out
followed
that many times.
Followed by Amaris Abraham on deck and Sophie Scott in the hole. As we are knocking on the door of run rule territory.
Okay, top of the 5th. I'm getting confused on who's home and who's away. It's real simple, Jim. Come on.
We have railroad tracks next to our facilities.
It's true.
Baseball and softball.
And a few oil wells as well. Out here.
Riley chops that one foul for strike 1. Yeah, we don't have any irrigation pivots next to ours.
No, nice. It's nice green field out there past left field. I don't know if y'all can see that. Not too much on the screen. Make a good football field, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably winter wheat, though, right?
Well, over the right field is the Tahoka's practice field. Here's the pitch as Riley's got to lean back for ball 1.
And that will be their future football field once they do get the stadium built, which they are probably a couple of years away.
Speaking of stadiums and stuff, Plains, have yourself a future of a football facility with your bond that you're getting past. Here's the 1-1. Down low and outside for ball 2. Is their football facility, Jim, is like a $21 million part of their bond?
Now, the bond has to pass an election, Russ, so it's not a sure thing yet.
But the renderings of it are nice.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Here's a 2-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Counts even at 2-2. And I believe Slayton's trying to do the same thing with theirs. They're trying to get 2 separate bonds passed.
There's not too many times bonds don't pass, but occasionally they don't. So it's all, this is what we want to do. What do you voters think?
As Riley hits a grounder out into center field for a base hit. Here's Amaris now for her 4th appearance at the plate. So we're back to the top of the order.
Okay, Riley Hernandez now with a single and a double on the day. Amaris is struggling. She got on an error her last time up, but struck out previously twice. Her 4th time up, so she is 0 for 2 officially. Got on an error the last time up.
Here's the 0. Amaris shows bunt. Foul as it lands just in front of the catcher.
It's Coach Murphy's trying to play some small ball with a 9-1 lead, using that bunt to advance the runner anyway.
That's how we extended the lead against New Home on Saturday with back-to-back bunts from Harley Joe and Amherst.
I love small ball. It makes the defense really play well. They got to recognize it, got to overreact to make the play.
Here's the 0-1. That is fouled back to us for strike 2.
Sophie Scott, who's 3 for 3 on deck, should be followed by Amberly Garza.
And Riley still stands on first. Amherst shows bunt, pulls back. Riley goes. Throw. Gets away from the shortstop. Riley will stand on second.
Give her a stolen base. Count now 1-2.
Counts at 1-2 for Amherst. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Now here's Sophie Scott for her 4th plate appearance.
Number 15, Sophie Scott.
Yeah, Sophie's 3 for 3, all base hits, 3 stolen bases, has scored twice.
Sophie shows bunt momentarily. She pulls back. Watches it go inside for ball 1. Riley has walked back to second. Here's the 1-0. Sophie shows bunt. It is popped up and in the glove. Riley's got to try to get. Riley gets back to avoid the double play.
Yeah, nice on the bunt. It was up instead of down, and the third baseman comes in and makes the catch. All right, so Amberly Garza coming to the plate.
Her 4th plate appearance on the day. She's due for a base hit. She's had 2 productive outs. Here's the pitch. Over the catcher. Riley stands at third.
Riley makes it to third on a wild pitch. But 2 outs. Garza's 0 for 3 on the day, by the way. Puke Ryan outs and a fly out.
In 2 outs, top of the 5th. Here's the 1-0 to Amberly. Inside for ball 2. Again, a runner in scoring position. That's Riley Hernandez. For those wondering, New Home is leading Tahoka in baseball over to my left shoulder. 3-0. They're still in the 1st inning.
Do you know how we're doing?
I don't. Down low.
Throwed.
Third. Oh, Riley's kind of in a pickle there, and she gets
in a pickle.
Yeah, she is.
Excited.
And she's safe at home with an overthrow.
She's tired. She dove for the plate. She's safe, and she's laughing. All right, that's going to be yay. How do you score that one, Russell?
She scores on an E5. Who threw it? Was that shortstop that threw it or third base that threw it? Because shortstop covered it. It's either an E5 or an E6 because it overthrew the backup to home.
All right. So Amberly Garza is still at the plate. What, 3-0 count?
Get 2 outs. Top of the 5th. Counts at 3-0. Amberly pops that over everybody for strike 1.
It's our first strike. Nobody on now with 2 outs.
Counts at 3-1 for Amberley. Carson Construction scores now 10-1. Here's the 3-1. Amberley gets a piece of that for a foul ball. Counts now full at 3-2. For our listeners at home, if you could you please mention that in the YouTube chat as to how we're doing against Seagraves, please. If you could please let us know. I'm afraid to check because I don't want to kick us off our internet.
I got you.
Here comes the 3-2. Gets her looking for strike 3. Side is retired, but the Lady Lopes do get a runner home to extend their lead. Carson Construction scores now 10-1 as we move into the bottom of the 5th. Sports Radio rolls on YouTube.
Antelope Wash and Dry, where laundry is a slam dunk. At Antelope Wash and Dry, laundry is simple, it's clean and convenient. The laundromat is at 301 South Broadway in Post, and it's open daily from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. The washers hold up to 60 pounds and the dryers up to 75. Antelope Wash and Dry is super clean, locally owned, and it features a kids' play area. Security cameras are on for your protection. Laundry is a slam dunk at Antelope Wash and Dry, 301 South Broadway, Post, Texas.
All right, welcome back to Post Lady Lope Softball. Your Carson Construction score is 10-1 as we get set to start the bottom of the 5th. As here's Jim with a quick recap of that last half inning.
All right, top of the 5th for the Lady Lopes. Score 1 run on 1 error, 1 hit, and nobody left on. Carson Construction scored 10-1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th, and the Tahoka Lady Bulldogs.
This brings up our the 7, 8, and 9 hole hitters. Jaden Woodley at the plate now. Designated player takes the pitch for ball 1.
Jaden got on an error, her first time up in the 2nd inning. Aaliyah Vasquez on deck and Andrea Castanedo in the hole, as they say.
Here's the 1-0. In there for strike 1. Counts even at 1-1.
Okay, for the boys, Antelopes playing at Seagraves.
No, we're playing in Post.
Playing in Post against Seagraves. We go there on Saturday.
A swing and a miss for strike 2.
I'll get to that baseball game in just a second. Let me get caught up on the scorebook.
Counts at 1-2. Jaden Woodley making her second plate appearance on the day. She swings and misses for strike 3 for out number 1.
All right, back to baseball. Antelopes hosting the Seagraves Eagles. And Seagraves leads 1-0. It's the top of the 2nd.
It's number 13, Aaliyah Vasquez, the second baseman. She watches that one go down low and outside for ball 1. So here's the 1-0. That is tipped foul for strike 1. Counts even at 1-1. Talked about Slayton earlier, Jim. I got some breaking news for you. The boys basketball program at Slayton will have a new head boys basketball coach starting next year. Here comes the 1-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. As my mom just informed me that the coach that had Slayton ranked in the top 10 in the state, he's now at Jim Ned.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Big move. They're a 4A school, correct?
Yes. Here's the 1-2. That is hit right to Riley. Throw to Sophie's in time for out number 2. Actually, no, Jim, they're not. Misspoke. They're not 4A. They're big school 3A. They're 3A Division 1.
Okay. Same as Slayton.
3A Division 2. That's Slayton.
Slayton's 2?
Yes.
Okay. So a bit of an advancement, going up one notch. Is Andrea Castaneda at the plate?
She swings and misses on the first pitch for strike 1.
See, she struck out looking her first time up back in the 3rd.
Here's the 0-1. She shows bunt. Can't get it pulled back as that's strike 2.
Yeah, threw off the batter completely with that off-speed pitch.
Good awareness by Serenity as she was running in on a hurry to make sure she could get there in time. Here's the 0-2. That is lifted, but foul down the first base line.
Had a lot of length to it, just a way foul.
It had home run distance.
On deck, go to the top of the order, would be Marley Stone.
Rise ball is a little bit high. Hannah couldn't believe that happened on the pitch for ball 1. Counts now 1-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch. Gets her looking for strike 3 to retire the side. Tahoka can't get a runner on as the Lady Lopes move into the top of the 6th. Carson Construction scores 10-1 as we roll on Post Sports Radio live and free on YouTube.
Sophisticut Salon of Post is your hometown full-service hair and nail salon. Sam McClellan and Dana Babb offer full-service hair and wax services, while Tamara Reed offers full-service nails and pedicures. To set up an appointment, contact the professional of your choice. Sam at 806-781-9491, Dana at 806-495-2505, or Tamara at 806-620-4560. The Sophisticut Salon at 105 North Avenue I in Post. Sophisticut Salon, your hometown full-service hair and nail salon, proud fans of Lady Lope Volleyball.
All right, welcome back to Lady Lope Softball as we get set to start the top of the 6th. There's Jim with a recap of that half inning.
Hannah Abraham for the Lady Lopes on this circle having a heck of a game with 8 strikeouts, 2 in this last inning. Struck out 2 to 3 batters. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. The Carson Construction scored 10-0. Lady Lopes from Post.
Here is Serenity Sanchez with Hannah Abraham on deck. Sanaya in the hole.
Serenity is 1 for 3 with a double her last time up and scored a run.
There's a pitch. That ball is hit out to short. She can't get a hand on it. Doesn't make a play.
She gets a glove on it, but it was a hard glove, so we're going to give Serenity a base hit on that one.
It was
straight up the middle.
It was a good stop by the shortstop to prevent it from going into the outfield.
Exactly.
So now here's Hannah making her 4th plate appearance on the day.
Hannah's got a base on balls twice, scored twice. Last time up, let's see.
Hannah shows bunt, pulls back. Inside, ball 1, Serenity stands on second as the ball bounces into center field on the throw.
So stolen base for Serenity Sanchez, puts her on second. Back to Hannah Abraham at the plate now. She is walked twice and got hit by a pitch, so basically has walked 3 times. So she's 0 for 0 in the day, but she has scored twice and 2 stolen bases.
Hey, contribute any way you can. Here's the 1-0 from Gill. Hannah crushes that foul for strike 1. Counts now even at 1-1. Outfield playing straight up. Marley Stone doesn't look like she's playing too deep in center field. No, other than that, there's no changes made defensively for the Lady Bulldogs. Here's the 1-1. Goes high for ball 2.
All right, got Sanaya Sanchez on deck in the hole, Zaylee Perez. Post is just a run away from the 10-run rule after 5 innings.
Here's the 2-1 from Gill. High and outside for ball 3. Counts now 3-1.
To elaborate on that comment, the Lady Bulldogs will still have a chance to come up if Post happens to score another run here.
Here's the 3-1. That ball is grounded out into center field. Serenity gets the green light to go home. No throw home. Hannah stays at first. So Lady Lopes now have a 10-run lead. Carson Construction scores now 11-1.
Serenity with a RBI single to center field. So there's that 10-run rule. The Post has got to keep it 10 runs even when Tahoka comes to the plate at the bottom of the 6th inning.
So now here's Sanaya Sanchez making her 4th plate appearance on the day.
Having a great day. She is 2 for 3 with a single and a double. Scored once.
Here's the 0-0 from Guild. Sanaya shows bunt late. Throw to first, not in time. Hannah creeps, stays at second.
Boy, Hannah was not looking at third. She's looking at the ball, which she should be. But nobody was covering third there for a long time.
So now runners on first and second for Zaylee Perez. Well, as we're about to get another courtesy runner for Sanaya, as Haley Parker will come in to run for her.
As she did last inning.
To bat, number 6, Zaylee Perez.
Zaylee today, 2 base hits and a strikeout, so she's 2 for 3 on the day. Scored once.
So here's the 0-0 from Gill. High and outside for ball 1. Hannah's walked back to second. And no outs, top of the 6th. Carson Construction scores 11-1. If you're just joining us, Zaylee has to lean back as that pitch was way inside for ball 2. Counts now 2-0. Here's the pitch from Gill. Catches the outer part of the zone for strike 1. Umpire's been very consistent with that part of the strike zone today. Haven't heard anybody in the stands complain about it like we did the other day.
Well, we actually can't hear the people in the stands. That's a good thing sometimes. I love the crowd noise over the broadcast.
Here's the 2-1. It's tipped foul back towards us for strike 2. Again, runners on first and second. Haley Parker is running for Sanaya on first, and Hannah is standing on second. Counts even at 2-2. As Azrae Landa stands on deck. Here's a 2-2. Zaylee gets a piece of that one, and it goes foul over the third base line.
First base.
Oh, yeah, first base line. Counts remains even at 2-2. Here's a pitch. That ball is chopped, grounded to short. Throw to second is in time. As it goes over, the throw to first goes over the head. Hannah comes in to score. So Zaylee gets on first via fielder's choice. Hannah advances on the error, on the overthrow, making your Carson Construction score 12-1 now with 1 out. So here's Azrae Landa, designated hitter.
Azrae, base hit, scored, and then also got on an error and then flew out. So she's 1 for 2.
Azrae chops that grounder to short, throw to second, not in time. Azrae, I don't know how you would score that.
She gets out on the fielder's choice, and then there's going to be an error on the throw to get that runner at second.
Number 2, Riley Hernandez.
So now here's Riley Hernandez.
So it's Zaylee on second.
Yes.
Nazare on first.
Here's Riley at the plate. Here's the pitch. That ball is grounded to short. She gets a handle on it for out number 2. Now the runners are at the corners.
Okay, this is getting interesting on the scoring. That was Riley just up. She gets on the fielder's choice. Zaley advances on the fielder's choice. And then the put out was what, 6 to 4?
6 to 4. So now this brings up Amaris Abraham for her 5th plate appearance. The runners at the corners once again. It's Zaley and Riley at third and first.
Amherst having a tough day at the plate. 0 for 3, got on base on an error, scored on that time.
Runner goes. Riley will go to second on a pass ball by the pitcher. On a wild pitch. Yeah.
Needed a step ladder to get that one.
Counts now 1-0. Getting both runners in scoring position. Here's the 1-0 to Amaris. That grounded pass, pitcher, both runners in a pickle. Throw back to third is in time for out number 3. There's a little miscommunication. Gets Zaley out at third, and she gets some coaching up from Coach Murphy back to dugout. But the Lady Lopes do tack on 2 runs, make your Carson Construction score 12-1. Let's keep it here real quick. Remind everybody about the Texas Rangers Grand Slam raffle. It's going to be taking place on Saturday, March
this Saturday,
April 11th, at the Post Chamber Casino Night. As the Chamber of Commerce wants you to don't strike out and get your ticket and get your raffle tickets today. $20 a ticket or 6 tickets for $100. The winner will get 4 Rangers tickets, a $500 gift card, and a basket of goodies. The winner picks the game date from eligible games. This is sponsored by Antelope Wash and Dry. Now here's Jim with a recap of that last half inning.
Crazy inning, but the Lady Lopes score 1 on 3 hits, 2 errors, and 1 left on. And we'll come back with Amherst Abraham still to finish her 5th at-bat due to the throw out while she was at the plate. And we'll see how that works out.
Well, if we get 3 outs here, we won't have to worry about that.
We're in the 10-run rule after 5. This is the bottom of the 6th. Post Cars Construction League with Post leading 12-1.
So here's Marley Stone making her 3rd plate appearance of the day. Hannah's still in the circle. Here's the pitch. Tipped foul for strike 1.
Marley's 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. Jackie Garcia on deck. Ali Rodriguez in the hole.
Here's the 0-1. Rise ball's just a little bit too high for ball 1.
I think we saw Marley Stone on the basketball roster as well.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I think half of the Tahoka roster was on there. Here's the 1-1. Sure. Stone watches that go in for a strike. Game counts at 1-2. Here's the 1-2 to Stone. Swing and a miss. No, tipped foul. Count remains at 1-2.
Russ peeking over the baseball field scoreboard where New Home is playing against the Bulldogs of Tahoka, and it's 4-1. And they go to the bottom of the 2nd in just a minute.
Stone grounds foul down the third base line. Count remains at 1-2.
Let's check on our Antelopes at home against Seagraves. Looks like the top of the 3rd. Seagraves leads 1-0.
Who's pitching for us?
That's pretty advanced for me, Russ. Give me a second.
Here's the 1-2. Stone still fouls away.
Don't know if I have that capability. I didn't sign up for the big package. Let's see. I would say Mingo Soto's on the mound.
Okay. Here's the 1-2 from Hannah. Pitches it way outside for ball 2. Counts even at 2-2.
But the Lady Lopes hope to wrap things up here in the bottom of the 6th with a 11-run lead.
Here's the 2-2. That is popped up. Hits the top of the net.
Did it?
Yeah, it did.
Okay. So you can't catch it off the net, unfortunately.
No, it hit that we couldn't see it from the awning, but the way it fell down, it grazed top of the net. So the count remains at 2-2. Here's the pitch. That is chopped, grounded to Amaris. Throw to first. Can't get it. Amaris will go to second. Throw in time. Out. Number 1.
My goodness.
So the defense makes up for the error.
Yeah. Would have been an error on the shortstop, I guess, a little bit off target to first base, but the runner gets caught on her way to second.
So now, here is Jackie Garcia.
Jackie has struck out, been up once, or twice rather. Base hit and a strikeout, so 1 for 2.
Everybody takes their time getting set. Sanaya had to recheck her gear.
Now, last play, great play by Sophie Scott to make that throw.
That ball is tipped foul for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 from Hannah. Late swing for a foul ball. Counts now at 0-2. Yeah. Yep, shows 0-2.
Ollie Rodriguez on deck, followed by Emily Frutis.
Here's the 0-2 from Hannah. Sanaya tried to frame it, but counts now at 1-2 with the ball. Here's the 1-2. Just a bit high. Counts even at 2-2 now. Hannah gets set again. Here's the pitch. It's fouled. Count stays even. As Garcia gets back in. Here's the pitch. Sanaya tried to frame it. Because now it's a full count. Here's the 3-2. Hit foul off the catcher, off of the net. Count remains a full count.
To remind our listeners, Post securely in second place, trying to stay that way with just one loss, as they will face next Tuesday at home. We'll bring it to you. They'll be taking on Sundown, the number 1 team in the district.
Ball a little bit high for ball 4. Garcia will stand on first. Now here's Allie Rodriguez, the catcher.
Number 11, Allie Rodriguez.
Rodriguez was in a special play in the first inning where we had a 5-4-3 double play. Got a base hit later, so she can hit the ball.
It's just chopped foul for strike 1. Garcia stands on first. Counts at 0-1, 1 out. Here's the pitch. That ball is lined out into right field. Goes right in front of Zaley. Throw. Third. Not in time. Now the runner's at the corners.
Yeah, it's going to advance Garcia. Got a replacement up there in right field, Russ. I think that's Fox.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That is Elizabeth. I see the back of the jersey, or back of the sweatshirt now.
So Rodriguez at first on that play with the single to right. Advances the runner to third. The runner's at the corners now.
Checking the rest of the defense. I think everybody else remains the same. I think that's still Amberly out in left and Harley still in center.
Correct.
Got a courtesy runner coming in for Allie Rodriguez.
Up to bat, Janelle De Leon.
So now here is Janelle De Leon up to bat, making her first appearance.
She is hitting for Everly Frutis, who has struck out twice today. First time, once again, that we'll see De Leon. So runners at first and third, right? Got a single there in the last play.
So here's the 0-0. Swing and a miss. Runner goes. Throw back to third is over Serenity's head. Runner will come in to score. Amberly gets it back in. She's tagged out at third.
Base running error by the pinch runner, or courtesy runner, gets tagged out between third and home. Out number 2.
But the run does come in to score. Making your Carson Construction score now 12-2. And there's 2 outs. And that has popped up. Sinai didn't realize where it was till it's too late. And she realizes it and she laughs it off. Counts now at 0-2. This is the last out, or last chance for Tahoka to extend the game. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that'll do it. This is your final from Tahoka, your Lady Lopes. 12. Tahoka 2 is your Carson Construction score. As the Lady Lopes are now 12-6 on the year, and are now 7-1 in district play. Tahoka is now 1-7 in district, and they fall to 3-17 overall. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have the Judge Lee and Marsha Norman wrap-up show here for you on Post Sports Radio, live and free on YouTube.
This message is sponsored by Judge Lee and Marsha Norman.
Texas 4-H is a club for kids and teenagers ages 5 to 18, and it's big. It's the largest youth development program in Texas. 4-H is for kids with animals and so much more, like shooting sports, food science, healthy living, fashion, and photography. Contact the Garza County Extension Office to sign up by calling 806-495-4400 or visit 4honline.com.
This is brought to you by Judge Lee and Marsha Norman, supporting what's good for Post and Garza County.
Antelope Wash and Dry, where laundry is a slam dunk. At Antelope Wash and Dry, laundry is simple, it's clean and convenient. The laundromat is at 301 South Broadway in Post, and it's open daily from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. The washers hold up to 60 pounds and the dryers up to 75. Antelope Wash and Dry is super clean, locally owned, and it features a kids' play area. Security cameras are on for your protection. Laundry is a slam dunk at Antelope Wash and Dry, 301 South Broadway, Post, Texas.
The community of Post continues to be committed to the Post Antelopes, just as Happy State Bank is committed to our customers. Perseverance, commitment, and resilience are key ingredients for success both on and off the field of play. Whether you are cheering on the Post Antelopes, starting a new business, or planning for the future, Happy State Bank is here for all your life's moments. Let us be your partner at Happy State Bank. Visit us in person or at happybank.com.
Happy State Bank, a division of Centennial Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, welcome back to Post. Lady Lope Softball, a Post Sports radio presentation, live and free on YouTube. This broadcast is made possible by Judge Lee and Marsha Norman, supporting what's good for Post and Garza County. KSSL Radio, playing the greatest country music ever recorded. Happy State Bank, a division of Centennial Bank, member FDIC. Post Family Dentistry, small town values, state-of-the-art care. The Garcia family, supporting the Antelopes and the Lady Lopes. Carson Construction, a contractor who does every part of the job. Antelope Wash and Dry, make your laundromat experience a home run. Post Area Chamber of Commerce, serving Post in all of Garza County. Post Family Cleaners, dry cleaning, laundry, and alterations. Sophisticut, Salon of Post, your hometown full-service salon and nail salon. And now here's the Judge Lee and Marcia Norman wrap-up show on postsportsradio.com. Russ?
Well, your Carson Construction score is a final of 12-2. Your Lady Lopes sweep the Tahoka Lady Bulldogs. I don't remember. We swept Tahoka last year, right? I believe.
Yes, I think you're correct, yes.
Okay, so
4 games in a row.
Back-to-back years, your Lady Lopes have taken the Farmageddon series on the diamond. And I believe this is the first time in, maybe 2 or 3 years where both the Lady Lopes and the Bowl Gold have swept Tahoka in the same season. So in the spring sports, Post is up on Farmageddon. Yep. So we'll take it. Real quick, let's go through. Do you want to compare book stats to game changer stats, or?
I just want to go ahead.
What do we want to do?
Let me do the runs by inning. Of course, Lady Lopes winning this game in 10 runs, by 10 runs in 6 innings. They scored none in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third, 3. Now I'm off one here, so what do they have there? 3 in the fourth, maybe 2 in the fifth is where I missed it?
They scored. So they have 2 in the second, 4 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth.
There we go. I missed it in the sixth. So there you go. That's your 12 runs for the Lady Lopes. The Lady Bulldogs of Tahoka, the home team today, scored 2 runs. Those came in the second and the sixth inning. So that's it, Russ. What about stats?
Final team stats. The keepers of the game, that I guess it was in the dugout, they have 1 run for Tahoka on 9 hits and 1 error. For Post, they have 12 runs on 19 hits and 2 errors.
Okay, I'm off on the hits as well.
Okay, so then let's give Claire Gill some credit in the circle. She pitched 6 innings, gave up 19 hits on 12 runs on 19 hits. 11 of those earned, walked 2, struck out 6. She had 122 pitches thrown. Team leader in RBIs was Janelle Woodley. She had 1 RBI and was 1 for 2 on the day. Allie Rodriguez was 3 for 3 at the plate for Tahoka. Now going in for your Lady Lopes, Hannah, 6 innings pitched, 9 hits, gave up 1 run on 9 hits. 1 of those was earned, walked 1 batter, and struck out 9 batters on 84 pitches thrown.
Not a bad day, 6 innings.
Team leader in RBIs was Sanaya Sanchez, 3 RBIs. She was 3 for 4, scored 1 run. Serenity Sanchez, 2 for 4, scored 2 runs, 1 RBI. Sophie Scott, 3 for 4, 2 runs, 1 RBI. Zaylee Perez, also 3 for 4, scored 1 run, 1 RBI. Azare Landa and Riley Hernandez, both 3 for 4. Azare had 2 RBIs. Riley had 1, and they each scored 1 run. So not a bad deal. Riley Hernandez and Sophie Scott led the team in stolen bases today, believe it or not. They each had 3 stolen bases apiece. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we will name the Antelope Wash and Dry Lady Lope of the game, Lady Lope or Lady Lopes of the game, depending on how Jim wants to, depending on what we choose. Once again, your final from Tahoka. Lady Lopes 12, Carson Construction scored. Lady Lopes 12, Tahoka 2. This is the Judge Lee and Marcia Norman wrap-up show rolls on Post Sports Radio.
Post Dispatch is proud to support all of our local high school sports. They're excited to bring you all the weekly scores and highlights of your favorite teams, as well as keeping you informed about everything going on in the community. Subscribe today. You can choose to have your newspaper mailed to your home or business, or subscribe online and get the news when it's convenient for you. They're proud to serve the community and proud to serve Garza County. The Post-Dispatch. Community news at the finest.
The Rotary Club of Post has embarked on a new fundraising campaign that can help you show your patriotism while the club accomplishes its missions. The Post Rotary Club takes pride in the community, and what a better way to show that than with the Parade of Flags program. For a $50 annual fee, we will place an American flag in your front yard or place of business on 5 holidays and pick it up afterwards. By joining, you'll be showing your patriotism during the Memorial Day, Flag Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, and Veterans Day holidays. Funds from the program will support youth scholarships and programs in the Post-Garza County community. Get the Parade of Flags registration form on the Post Texas Rotary Club Facebook page, or send a request for a form by email to rotaryclubofposttexas@gmail.com. Show the nation's colors and your patriotism and join the Parade of Flags, a fundraising effort of the Rotary Club of Post.
Antelope Wash and Dry, where laundry is a slam dunk. At Antelope Wash and Dry, laundry is simple, it's clean and convenient. The laundromat is at 301 South Broadway in Post, and it's open daily from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. The washers hold up to 60 pounds and the dryers up to 75. Antelope Wash and Dry is super clean, locally owned, and it features a kids' play area. Security cameras are on for your protection. Laundry is a slam dunk at Antelope Wash and Dry, 301 South Broadway, Post, Texas.
Did y'all know it's baseball time in Texas? Their Post Area Chamber of Commerce is having their Grand Slam raffle. Don't strike out. Get your raffle tickets today. It's $20 a ticket, or 6 tickets for $100. The raffle will take place at the Post Chamber Casino Night on this Saturday, April 11th. The winner will win 4 Rangers tickets, a $500 gift card, and a basket of goodies. Now, the winner will pick the game date from eligible games, and this is sponsored by Antelope Wash and Dry. And speaking of, it is now time to name the Antelope Wash and Dry players of the game. Jim?
Russ, we're going to go with the 2 ladies that really stood out in this game, although the whole team did. But Sophie Scott had a great day at the plate, going 3 for 4, scored twice, had 3 stolen bases. And in the circle, Hannah Abraham, all those strikeouts and commanding the batters, no problem. Also, offensively, even though she didn't get a hit, she got 1 hit, but at 4 at-bats, she was on base all 4 times, 2 on walks, 1 hit by pitch, and once again a base hit, and she scored 3 times. So congratulations to both Sophie Scott, Hannah Abraham, the Antelope Wash and Dry players of the game.
Well, our next broadcast, and this is weather pending. If you have not checked the weather forecast, there's a good possibility we may or may not could bring this to you, as we will be live at Seagraves for Game 2 of the series between Post and Seagraves. If the weather is able to cooperate, pregame will be at 10:45. First pitch will be at 11 a.m. And y'all know how it is over at Seagraves. If y'all have bared with us the last couple years, internet there is iffy at best. So we'll do everything we can to make sure we can get you the full broadcast any way possible. Once again, your final here for your Lady Lopes at Tahoka. They sweep Tahoka and take Farmageddon. Final score of a Carson Construction score, 12-2, and have a full grasp on second place in the district standings. For Jim Plummer, I'm Russ Morris, saying good night, guns up, God bless, and keep hope alive, everybody.
Are you looking for a contractor who does every part of the job? Then give Carson Construction a call at 806-626-3811. Greg Carson and his crew do new construction, remodeling, demolition, and concrete work from the planning stage to the project completion. Also, if you are doing a DIY project, you can rent a roll-off dumpster. Carson drops it off and picks it up. Plan now for your next project and call the guys who build a lasting relationship with each customer. Carson Construction. Find them on Facebook or call 806-626-3811.
This message is sponsored by Judge Lee and Marcia Norman.
Texas 4-H is a club for kids and teenagers ages 5 to 18, and it's big. It's the largest youth development program in Texas. 4-H is for kids with animals and so much more, like shooting sports, food science, healthy living, fashion, and photography. Contact the Garza County Extension Office to sign up by calling 806-495-4400 or visit 4honline.com.
This is brought to you by Judge Lee and Marcia Norman, supporting what's good for Post and Garza County.
Take a break and let Post Family Cleaners take care of the laundry. Family Cleaners is Post hometown laundry and dry cleaners on West Main Street in Post. Whether it's dry cleaning, wash and starching, laundry service, or alterations, Post Family Cleaners has you covered. Let Post Family Cleaners make your life a bit easier. Go by 111 West Main Street or call 806-495-0777 to get details. That's 806-495-0777. Post Family Cleaners, your hometown laundry and dry cleaners on West Main and Post.
All broadcasts in all and any media form provided by PostSportsRadio.com are the sole property of Post Sports Enterprises with the permission of the Post Independent School District. Any retransmission of any of these broadcasts, whether partial or in its entirety, for commercial or personal use without express written consent of the Post Sports Enterprises and Post ISD is strictly prohibited. Any violations of these broadcast rights will be strictly enforced and upheld as allowed by local, state, and federal statutes, ordinances, and laws. We hope you enjoyed this post-high school event exclusively on PostSportsRadio.com.